Okay, what deck do you think will win Ascent Auckland?
Whatever I bring. You know I got answer that way, right?
I really need.
I interview myself lah. Come on. Go ahead. I interview myself.
Hello, welcome back to Apex channel. Today we have Proann, the winner of the second.
The winner of the second Ascent on Earth.
Hi, welcome back to Apex channel. We have Proann right here, second place Ascent on Taipei. Congratulations on your 5th spirit. So how are you feeling after winning your 5th spirit on Ascent Taipei?
Another day at work. I'm 5 out of 6 top 8 Ascent, so it's just another Ascent for me.
Just out of curiosity, when you walked into the venue that day on day 0 when you register for the event, did you actually picture yourself coming out of this Ascent with a spirit, or even top, second place?
Of course, my wildest dream, I wouldn't expect to get second place. I expect either first or go home early. Because this deck is, if you make it through, you lucky, then you just kill everybody skill, right? You see. But if you say, you probably won't even make day 2.
So speaking of your deck choices, so we noticed that you were playing Suzaku. So can you tell us more about why did you bring that Suzaku into Ascent Taipei?
Going to Ascent Taipei, Round the Abyss was obviously the best card going into the tournament. Round the Abyss will enable you to high roll, get free liminals out. If you draw Round, you increase your win percentage by quite a little bit. So I wanted to play a Round deck that doesn't really, if you draw Round plus its pieces is good, but if you don't draw Round, you still can play the game. Because a lot of the decks that play Round, like Crux deck, like Crux Knight, Merlin, if they don't draw Round or Creative Shock to throw their floating or liminal, they just can't win. They just literally they just stuck at level 0, they can't do anything. But for Suzaku deck, even if you don't high roll, you don't draw your Round or throw your pieces, you still get a decent game plan since you don't draw Round and things. Most of the time your hand are other burn spells. So you just keep burning your opponent and you get there eventually.
As we were mentioning Suzaku, we also noticed that there were a lot of other Suzaku decks running around in this event. So how does your deck differ from the rest of the Suzaku decks?
Before the Ascent, we went to Singapore Regionals. Then through that tournament, we realized there was some difficulty in playing against Lorien with Clarence. Because if the Lorien player goes first and they went 0-1 Clarence, during your turn 3, you don't have enough. Your burn spell doesn't go through the Clarence to deal damage, so that you don't get the quest counter. So you can't consistently flip turn 3 if they have Clarence. So to target Clarence, I increase the number of Spark Alight in my deck so that I can Spark Alight them through the Clarence, and a lot of Lorien will feel much safer. Oh, I have Clarence out, he can't flip this turn. But because I have Spark Alight to go through the Clarence, I can flip on turn 3. And it won me some games that I just flip on turn 3 out of their expectation, and they tap out. I just go Spark Alight them into Pepper Chef and kill them, and flip and Pepper Chef and kill them on turn 3. So it was something that I think brought me a good advantage. And another card that I think helps me a lot is Fluffy Shop Keep. Because Fluffy Shop Keep is just a hand neutral card that helps you, in a sense, heal 3, because it's intercept 3. Intercept and has 3 HP. So in a lot of aggro matchups, that one card can win you the game.
Okay, so you mentioned about one Fluffy Shop Kit. How do you make it so that you can consistently draw that card when you are fighting against, let's say, aggros, or against aggros matchup, or allies matchup?
You can't you just need to get lucky. One
luck
copy,
is skill,
you want
right?
to be consistent. The fact that it's not a fire card, so you can't run too many copies because you don't want to throw it away. But the more important pieces in the deck are Suzaku's Command, Pepper Chef, because those are the ones that help you hit your last few damage. So I feel like Pepper Chef is the only reason why this deck is that tier 1, because one Pepper Chef is a 2 cost 8 damage card in this deck. So Battle Chef definitely fall off lah. I don't understand why people run 3 copies. Like I don't understand. I really don't understand.
So as you mentioned, Fluffy Shopkeep. So people with that are playing Crux Knight or Lorraine, they would have a clear choice of what regalia they will throw away. For example, for Merlin, they will throw away the goat and the prismatic age, whereas for Crux Knight, they will throw away 2 of the swords to draw 1. So as for Suzaku, because your regalia is very, how to say, important to you, so how do you determine what should be thrown out and what should not?
Very simple. I main Nullifying Mirror. Then, if you're not fighting against Wind decks or Luxom deck, it's automatically throw away. Then, against most other matchups, you don't really need Smoke Bomb, cause Smoke Bomb is just there in case they, like in case you fight a Serio, they're forced to innovate agility down to 1, then they go back to 2 and they flip. And the Smoke Bomb becomes useful cause they don't have the lineage release. But most matchup you don't need Smoke Bomb. So whenever I play Fluffy, it's always Smoke Bomb plus Nullifying Mirror or Smoke Bomb plus Sensor. Cause a lot of games you are fast enough that you don't need Sensor.
Okay, so back to the main point about Rao, the earlier point. So you mentioned that Rao is a very strong card. So during the end of the event, the developers also showed us that they were actually banning Rao.
Yeah, ban Rao.
So what are your thoughts of the BNR coming out, and just a summary of the BNR for you lah?
Like banning Rao is very healthy for the meta because Rao makes fire really fast, and it makes people feel very uncomfortable if the guy Rao throw 2 cards, Rao throw 2 cards. It makes you feel the game is unwinnable from the very start. Like opponent just got overwhelming hand advantage that you cannot stop. But so with Rao being banned, I see a lot of, like more water decks and wind decks moving to the forefront. Like I feel water will become actually playable now, and the meta share of fire will just drop significantly. Right now, before the Ascent Taipei, fire was like 60 to 70% of the meta. I predict it will drop down to like 30%. Like every element will be 30 to 40% each, so that it's quite balanced.
Okay, so with Rao now banned, if let's say someone would like to play Suzaku again, how would you actually mod the deck post Rao ban?
I'll just cut the Rao and max up the 3 of Hearts and Fluffy Shopkeep. So your idea is you just need more hand neutral cards for you to go level 1. So having 3 of Hearts to throw a floating or throw a Limina, or Fluffy Shopkeep as a hand neutral card to start your turn 1 is just good enough.
Okay, so during the final round, when it was you versus Apol, during down to the final moves, when Apol drew the dungeon guide, and then he started gaining the lead from there, what was going through your mind during the match?
I lost lah. It's okay. I never lose before. It's okay to lose there. I was just thinking that he got whatever he needs. I didn't have my Suzaku command, so yeah, it is what it is. The game is over, then move on with life. Go get my second place trophy, yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people will say that card games is all about
luck and skill, right? Luck.
A balance of skill and luck and strategy. So what was your game plan going into the tournament, going to the games, all this?
Yeah, my personal preference for every Ascent and every tournament, especially Ascents, is I want a consistent deck. So I want a deck that can consistently beat out the bad players. I always tell people 90% of people at Ascent are bad. So you just need to beat the 90% and hope you don't hit the 10% of people that early. So you be able to make day 2 easily. But but at the same time, if you play a deck that is very inconsistent, like you have to draw a certain piece for your deck to win, then suddenly you may just lose to bad players because you just didn't draw the correct cards. But Suzaku was a deck where even if you don't draw the perfect hand, you draw an average 50% hand, you are able to beat most of the field. because they have to draw their, or like let's say most deck run Resistance 10 to stop the Pepper Chef combo, but Resistance 10 is like 3 to 4 cards in their deck. They have to draw the answers, but I am able to consistently flip my Suzaku turn 3 and hit you, but you're not consistently drawing your Resistance 10. So in that sense, I will always have the advantage over whoever that I'm playing against. So that's my concept going into an Ascent, that I will be able to win 80 to 90% of my games that way, so that I don't let luck be such a huge factor.
So we heard about a judge call on your table at the end of day 1.
No comment.
Would you care to elaborate on that for us and the viewers?
No comment. I wear retarded. Forget dungeon game. I forgot I go level 3. Then I just don't let him level. Next.
Okay. Was there actually any particular turning point during the event whereby you told yourself that, I actually could win this event, I actually could make into top 8, I could actually have the potential to fight for the champion spot?
Funnily, the most ironic part about this thing is that I feel I can top 8 was the moment I beat A-Paw in Swiss. Like, I fought A-Paw, like I think it was round 12, the third round of day 2. So I fought A-Paw and I lost the dice roll, so he went first on game 1. But even when he went first, I won that game. Then after that, in the subsequent game 2, he won. Then I won the game 3. At that point of time, I feel like, even I went second, I could have beat Win Serio. So at that point of time, I feel that, and that I need to win one out of my last 2 games. So I feel it's a very good chance of making top 8. Which is very ironic because I beat A-Paw there, then I lost to him in the finals.
So you mentioned you fought A-Paw during the Swiss, and you met him again during the finals. So during the Swiss game, you actually won him. And then on the final stage, he actually bested you lah. So what was the difference that actually came to play? Whereby what was the difference whereby he actually how did he won you on the finals and instead of like during the Swiss?
He was luckier. He drew the correct cards. I didn't. It's just that simple. He drew his BC. He drew his dungeon guys. Then I didn't drew my Suzaku command. That's about it. If I drew my Suzaku command and he didn't innovate, I would have won the same thing. So it's very minute, but it's just a matter of who draw the better card at the correct timing. So I didn't draw well the last game, so he won.
So you would say that you actually walked out that game without any regrets?
No, I didn't regret anything. I didn't feel I misplayed anything. So yeah.
Okay, so every player has a very memorable play, like for you during one of the Ascent that you won, it was for Frostworm Paladin. For this Ascent, what do you think was the most memorable play that you actually made that you still have it burned into your mind?
I don't have a particular memorable play in mind, but I have one particular game in mind that I thought I lost the game from turn 1, but I managed to turn it around because my opponent was drawing nothing. So it was against YHJ in like round 6 of day 1. Like I had to liminal and pepper chef my liminal. Like my hand was just liminal guys and pepper chefs. I didn't have a single burn spell, and I managed to win that game. So that was like the most memorable game. Like a game, a low roll of 10% that you should never win, but I won that game. So from then onwards, I feel very confident that no matter what happened, I still have a chance to win.
Now, during the event, you said that there's 10%. 10% of the people that comes to the event are actually strong players. So who do you think that during the climb up to top 2, who was the strongest opponent that you actually faced?
The strongest opponent, Okay, the strongest opponent at the tournament is probably Sean, but he didn't play the top 8, so we can ignore him. But the strongest opponent I faced in the whole tournament is probably Ray Lam. Ray Lam is a very good player that knows his lines of plays very well, and he knows what he need to do against Suzaku. But luckily, the match I played against him in day 1, I high roll the fuck out of him and I flip on turn 2, like both games to kill him. Yeah. So I was just lucky against him, but he's probably the strongest player right there at the tournament that I luckily didn't meet because he lost in top 8.
Okay, so we've been talking about the highs of your highs during the event, like your wins and all. So was there any like lows during the event whereby you thought that in the game where you thought like, oh shit, I could have lost this game, like you know?
I mean, I already told you the game that I supposed to lose, but I won instead. That was the game that I thought I should lose. But the moment that I think I regret the most in the whole tournament was my round 2, because my deck, the Suzaku, I played against a lot of Fire Tiao Chan. I have never lost a single game. But in round 2, I fought should be an ex-Yu-Gi-Oh player that was he was very good in his lines of plays, but I could have played way better to avoid whatever he did to me, but that was all on hindsight. But I felt like I was overconfident in that game. That's why I lost that game. But at the same time, because of that one series that I lost, I felt like that helped me to refresh myself and tell myself not to be overconfident and think more about my plays instead of just rushing through it like a muscle memory. So that helped me a lot throughout the whole day 1 and day 2.
So during the event, so you played 14 games on Swiss, right? And then 3 games of top 8. So during all your games, 17 games worth of best of 3, did any of the players' strategy actually caught you off guard?
Not really. The only one that caught me off guard was 8-ball in the finals, where he tapped out for no reason and he just died there. That caught me off guard. I didn't expect him to like just step out and let me kill him, cause I countered a little, then he's like, oh, he probably had 2 cards in hand, he probably had Resolute Stand, so I can't kill him. Then he decided to pay 2 to flip the panda and just die there. I call that very surprising because he was in the finals. People will play much safer and much conservative there, but he didn't. So that was the most surprising moment of the whole event.
So maybe you want to share with any players that actually would like to play this game at a high level event, because we all know that playing in high level event is actually kind of stressful, especially when you're going on to stream. So how do you actually manage to keep your composure when the stakes were high?
Honestly, most people that when they go to the very high stakes like finals, top 8, it's very hard to not get nervous. But what brings you through the match is your practice, your muscle memory. Like if you have been run through a lot of times your deck, you will know what to do in general. Then your muscle memory will bring you through to what's the most correct line of play that you should do. So for an average person that wants to improve better, practice is the most important, and it's very important that you play in more local so that you get to face different decks. Because a lot of time people join big events and they lose is because they lack of experience versus what they know what the opponent can do. So if you know what your opponent can do, it's much easier for you to plan around their turn, so that you can know, if I do this, I will die because I know what their deck can do. Instead of I just do whatever I want and tap out, then I die because I didn't know my opponent got lethal. Like I didn't know my opponent can do that. So these are the things you need to consider if you want to improve at the game.
Okay, so now looking back into the event, so what do you think was actually the biggest difference that helped you be at where you were, winning a spirit? Was it your instinct, your practice, or maybe just a bit of luck?
Well, it's just mainly, to be honest, it's mainly luck.
Luck is skill, right?
I faced my worst matchup, not the worst, every time I face some slightly unfavored matchup in the Swiss rounds, I drew very, very well. Then, like, it balanced out. But when I fight those matchups that I'm slightly favored in, I drew slightly worse. But those matchups where you're favored, you can draw a bit worse and still win. So because of that, overall everything just comes into place, and I was able to like go X2 in the Swiss and just make top 8. Like, normally in an Ascent, right, you just need to get lucky and get the correct amount of win to get top 8. Like, making day 2 is actually very easy with the new system of you just need like go X3 to go day 2. Like, there's like 112 people that makes day 2. That's like 20%. Compared to last time when you only get top 32 out of like 250 people, that's like 12 to 13%. So, if you put your time and effort into this, I believe anybody can go day 2 in an Ascent nowadays.
Okay, speaking of the format changes, do you think that changing the format to X3 instead of top 32 is fair?
I think it's fair because of the number of players in the Ascent. Like, I remember Wiz initially put top 32 because their idea of day 2ing is they want the top 20% of players to day 2. By making the point system, I feel that they fulfill their goal of making 20% of people day 2. Like in Ascent Taipei, I think there was 118 people, 113 people that day 2 out of 528 people. So that's roughly 20%. So I feel that they hit the goal of like the 20% day 2ing. So it doesn't make sense to out of 500 people only 32 make day 2. That's like 5%. So, and people bubbling out as a certain score feels really, really bad. I have a friend that bubbled out Ascent Singapore at 34th, and he's like very emotional about it every time we talk about Ascent Singapore. So I hope that doesn't happen to everybody lah. So having this type of score-based system into day 2 will prevent this type of situation from happening.
So over your journey with this game, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself as a player?
Initially I thought this game, like, a lot of things was like due to luck and things that you can't control. But to a certain extent those are true, but to me, what I learned that bringing to an event, what's the most important is bringing the correct deck. No matter how skillful you are at one deck, but if the deck doesn't do well in the meta, or the deck has certain weakness, then is inconsistent, then you're not gonna do well with it, no matter how good you are with it. For example, I have a certain friend that like to play Arisana and is very stubborn about it. Then he didn't do very well because he insistently wanted to play Arisana for Taipei. So I learned that bringing the correct deck is the most important part. Don't be stubborn. Don't just play your favorite deck. Play something that works for the meta and do what you need to win.
Okay, now for the final question. If someone out there, be it a new player or a seasoned veteran that wants to compete at a level that you are playing, how would you actually advise them to go about it?
Practice hard, get good team. So like whoever you play with must be of a decent standard, or else if you're practicing with bad players, you will just not improve. But another important thing is ask questions. Like if you lose to someone that you think is better than you just ask him, how can I get better? How should I get better? The community in GA is very friendly. Like most people will like tell you how to get better and how to improve. So if you are willing to just go around asking, even on Discord or whatever, for people to help you, there are more people that are willing to help you than people that are not willing to help you. So if you are willing to put the time and effort to improve yourself, you somehow get good enough to win the spirit.
Okay, that's all for the interview today. Thank you for your time. We will see you on the next one. 这个你要回答吗？ Over the journey with this game, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself as a player?
I'm good lah, I'm lucky lah.
Okay lah. What advice would you give them to reach where you are today?
Subscribe to this YouTube channel. I think can help me beat Justin up.
Who's Justin?
This guy. Thank you.